My God! Call 911!
Two vehicles, a truck and a car. There's four people in one truck and there's three of us in the other. What were we thinking, Tyler?
I don't know. I just stopped, and I don't think
On November 12th of 2008, I had been drinking, as I did almost every day at that time. I had been struggling with alcoholism for a few years. That led me to a life of denial and pain. The worst day of my life happened, and that was probably the best day of my life. November 12th, 2008, I started drinking that morning. Not exactly sure what was going on with me that day, but I drank more than I normally probably would have. Throughout the day, I decided to go to Wilmer and go shopping of all places. I spent a large amount of money, and I went to the Cashwise liquor store. I purchased another bottle of vodka after I'd already been drinking, and I proceeded to drive home 50 miles. On my way home, I thought about stopping at an AA meeting in Granite Falls, which is where I would normally go, and I changed my mind, thinking that I should probably just get home because I knew that I had too much to drink. And when I got about 1.5 miles from town, I struck a parked car. The next thing I knew, I hit something, my car was spinning, and everything was pretty foggy after that. My blood alcohol content at that time was 0.25, which is more than 3 times the legal limit. I remember being in pain and knowing that there was a car and asking if someone else was in it, and knowing that they were, and wondering if they were okay. I had internal bleeding and a ruptured spleen, and they sent me on to Sioux Falls so that I could have emergency surgery. On the way there, someone, and this is what I remember, is when I remember finding out that the driver of the car that I hit had died. All I remember is absolute feelings of panic. And I didn't know what to do with myself. I remember wishing for death right there. Just because I thought that I had to drink and I had to get home, someone died. Someone 17 years old who had such a promising future is gone. And she'll never graduate from high school and have a child, get married, go to her prom again because of the choices that I made. I stole that from her. So I went through a very difficult time being upset with God, being upset with myself, being upset with my addiction, and not understanding how something like this could happen to me. I'm pretty normal. Yeah, I drink too much, but I'm married, I have a job, I own a house, grew up in Cottonwood. How bad can I be? All of a sudden, the realization that prison is my future. I did have that thought of it'll never happen to me. And I remember times back when I was in college or in high school, and we'd probably go out, have 2, 3, 4 drinks, and we would drive home, and you don't give it another thought, because A, you don't want your parents mad at you, so you gotta get home, because you probably have a curfew, or B, you just gotta get home, and you don't ever think about it. And that day, that was my thought process. I didn't think about the fact that I had way too much to drink. I just needed to get where I needed to go. The state trooper, Sean Matthews was his name, which I never forget, the cop who arrested me. I won't forget his name anytime soon. He came to see me when I was in treatment, and he got my statement about the night of the accident. And we recorded everything, we were talking, and when he got there, he said to me that he had a message from my victim's mom, and that he wanted to give it to me, but he wanted to wait until we were done with all of our questioning and get that out of the way first, and then he would tell me. So of course I'm sitting there thinking, like, this lady is going to say she hates me, or something awful. And so we're going through the entire thing, and we get done with all the questioning, and I give my statement about that night and what I can remember and what I can't, and we get done, and he said, Morgan's mom, her name is Sheila, and she wants you to know that she forgives you. and those are probably like the sweetest words I've ever heard in my life. She's got a great heart and wanted to give me that message so that I didn't continue to beat myself up, so that I could start to heal. Because even though she lost her life and her family was affected, and her friends and everyone there, I had still gone through tragedy too. They're, reading me my charges, and they take me down to the jail, and I'm actually finally realizing that I really am getting arrested. Like, I've never been arrested before, for real, in my life, and so I'm very worried about this. Thinking about all my consequences and looking at these things, and I mean, that's all bad enough, because I'm going to get pulled out of my life, and I'm going to go to prison. I mean, I'm going to prison, like, I need to beef up or something, because these women are going to be huge and scary, and it's going to be awful, and that's scary enough, but I'm also thinking about what I did to a family, and the fact that, someone is still dead because of the choices that I made. And a lot of times I focus more on me and my situation and what was going on, so that I didn't really have to think about that and think about the guilt. I knew that on June 16th, 2009, that was going to be the day that I was going to prison. And I went to the Shakopee Women's Correctional Facility, and I spent almost 3 years there. Grew up in a small town, Minnesota, doesn't really quite fit in. A lot of people didn't care for me. You're constantly reminded of what you did wrong. My crime was thrown in my face every day. There's no way to try to heal or move on. I finally get here after serving my time. I get back to Cottonwood, and this community is amazing. I was welcomed back with open arms. Right now, I go to AA at least once a week, if not twice. I'm active in church and 2 Bible studies, which keep me focused on what's important. I'm going back to school at Catholic University. Currently got a 4.0, so I'm going to brag a little bit about that. I'm just working part-time right now, but I'm back and just kind of living life, and everything's going really good. I'm on parole right now until November 14th of this year, which will be 2 days after the anniversary of the accident. And I've just got really good things going for me.